not just Halloween, but you could be dressed up in a suit because you had to go somewhere. The drunk Santa, you name it. That is called, give me a second. Okay, that is called enclothed cognition, which means as an individual, right? You wear a suit, you just feel more comfortable. If you are dressed like a police officer,
not comfortable.
Right? Yeah. Whatever the case might be, you're going to act out a few of your version of cop fantasies, etc. And then the other one, but Halloween, this is where it takes the other step. When it is Halloween, oh man, this is the de-individualization. So now the idea of that is you go to a party, you go to the bar, everyone's dressed up for whatever reason in that moment, whatever you're dressed as, because you're around other people dressed up, you go deep into character.
All right. So our question, what went down when someone was in costume?
Like Comic-Con.
206-803-ROCK. I'll give you a perfectly good example.
I would also tell people, like, one year my buddy Joe and I, we went as the greatest table tennis players of all time.
Yeah. Okay.
But we never won the gold. But we stayed in character the whole time. So sometimes we would get in fights, and he'd be mad about my breakdown at 72 in Munich. Or it could be the Olympics in 92 in Barcelona.
Yeah, I'd stay away from the Munich one.
Well, all right, Jesus. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, we stayed in character the entire night. And then once in a while, we would autograph a ping pong ball and just shoot it across the party.
Well, it's amazing, man. Like, you go to Comic-Con, and my daughter's all about it, right? And the people I notice most are the Spider-Man people, all right? So it does not matter their physique, although it should. But anyone dressed as Spider-Man, even if you're just going to ask them, like, where's the bathroom? And I swear this to be true. You can say, hey, man, do you know which way the bathroom is? They immediately do the kind of, you know when Spider-Man jumps off of a building, and when he lands, he looks cool?
Yeah.
So his legs are kind of spread, one knee is bent. Like, all of them do that. And then if you said, hey, man, where did you get the hot dog? What floor? Like, they'll tell you, but they go into the Spider-Man thing. And I'm like, bro, the guys that do Superman, it's ridiculous. If you ask them a question, they put their hands on their hips. And I'm like, I don't think you do that outside of the fact that you're dressed like Superman.
Do all the Batmans talk like this?
Yeah.
You know what?
Pretty much.
I will say the one weird thing is most people don't do the voices. So you get a guy who has, like, some people spend more money and time, obviously, on their costume. And there's a couple of Batmans that roll around. They'll look badass. But if you ask them, hey, man, where'd you get that hot dog? You want to go up to the fourth floor, kind of ruins it. Although I will say, I appreciate everyone staying in costume because most of the costumes are pretty accurate. So it's kind of cool because you kind of lose yourself. You're like, all right, these people are mimicking what you know to be true of these characters. But the one that threw me off, and they didn't do it on purpose, this guy, I don't know how much money he spent on his Predator outfit, but it was a badass Predator outfit. But he didn't know where he was trying to get to when he's going up the escalator. So there's something weird about standing behind this guy. He's dressed as the Predator and legitimately looks like the Predator, but he looks as nervous and confused as anyone who's not quite sure they need to go. So I see him he has that thing where you raise your finger up with your pointer and you're pointing at signs because you're trying to read where it's at. And just, I don't know, I can't explain it. Looking at the Predator, being confused about what conference room he wants to go to, it kind of ruined the whole thing.
Well, I read an article with Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons basically said, you know what, man, when I was not in makeup, when I was not in makeup, it was a different me. And then I would put this face paint on. He said, I kind of became the demon, but also became kind of a douchebag. And
you cannot put that on the makeup.
Just try
He's a douchebag without it.
But he said he was a much more kind, gentler person without the makeup on. Then he would put the makeup on. He changed the way he walked. He changed the way he talked. He changed the way he spoke to people as far as how his attitude was.
Sure.
And I can tell you this. We did a show probably 10 years ago, and it was down at Showbox Soto. And our boy Joe Dredd, who is in Almost Human, the Kiss tribute band, He painted my face up as Gene Simmons.
That was like 15 years ago, buddy.
Maybe older than that.
Yeah.
But he did the old version. Like, the dress to kill.
It looked great.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it really looked
Walking around like Gene Simmons with that makeup on, I had more confidence than I've had in years that one night. And
How weird is that?
Misha was dressed up as Ace Frehley.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken. And she was playing guitar, so that makes sense. But it was so badass.
Like, you just felt more confident.
I felt awesome being Gene Simmons. And I wasn't a D-bag.
Right.
So I was nice Gene Simmons. But
you were also wearing a pink sequin coat and a cowboy hat. But in spite of not wearing what he
had
would
the
wear.
face paint on.
All right, yeah.
But I felt great.
I mean, it might have been different for you as you played quarterback, but for me, even just playing football, it was fun. I always felt like when I put on that helmet and strapped in that chin strap, I could be the mean, tough person I wanted to be.
Well, I mean, think
go
of it.
hit people.
You see it in the NFL. These guys, I mean, some guy go out and clobber a dude, right? And it's how the teams play. And then at the end of the game, you see those two guys hugging each other because, like, oh, we were roommates in college.
Sure.
We're friends. I would never do this to him, but we agree. Look, if we're in uniform, I can F you up.
I don't think DK Metcalf makes bad choices off the field. I think he's probably a pretty nice guy. Nice to kids, nice to his neighbors.
I'm sure he's nice to kids.
Probably a very good teammate. He gets on the field.
He's a little loose with his group sex organization.
It all goes away.
Say what now?
I said he's a little loose with his group sex organization.
Group sex organization.
Remember a couple years ago, some girl from Portland, some like OnlyFans girl, she was like, I drove all the way up here for like a threesome or foursome.
Oh.
And then he canceled at the last second. I got enough girls.
Oh, just like
he said, I have enough girls? DK, you don't have enough girls.
That was the rumor. And then the other rumor was that's why Russell didn't want to throw the ball to him anymore. So he didn't approve of his lifestyle.
Oh, my God.
These are all rumors.
That can't be true.
It could be, but
the guy who cancels reservations with 5 minutes to go for 30 people, that guy?
Yeah, the guy who puts out a press release about his divorce before he told the girl.
Right?
Oh, damn.
That guy? See, well, he wasn't in uniform, I guess. But some of our favorite stories from the year.
Oh,
and we're just talking about, look, what happened when someone you know or yourself was in costume and
it might
up?
not be because of that. The one time I got arrested, right? And this is 94, so I don't want to do the math, 25, 31 years ago today, whatever
way
it was.
back.
Yeah, but on Halloween, and I was not doing anything because I was dressed up, but we had the company Halloween party, worked at a restaurant. Everyone's trying to figure out what they're going to be because our chef was like, you better dress up. So me and 4 other people agreed we will each be a member of the Village People. It's simple. It's easy. It doesn't cost a lot, right? So I'm the cowboy. And at that time, I had to draw the mustache on because I wasn't doing the facial hair thing. Had the red little bandana around my neck, the hell, those, whatever.
You're a cowboy.
I'm a cowboy. I'm part of the
Was the bandana
people.
tight?
It had to be tight. I'm part of the Village People.
Right,
Man.
okay.
It was not comfortable.
See, I'm imagining, do you remember the band, the Reggae Cowboys?
Yeah.
I would envision you kind of look like that with your hair.
I more or less did.
Okay.
And but go to the party, had a fine time, walking home, end up getting arrested. Won't go through the whole story, but I get arrested. But you forget that you're dressed as a cowboy. All right, it's going back and forth with the cops.
Flamboyant cowboy.
A very flamboyant cowboy. And the story actually gets worse. So you get arrested, they throw you in the drunk tank. No big deal. It didn't occur to me until the next morning, though, that my one and only mugshot, I'm dressed like a goddamn cowboy from the Village People. And that just bugged me. Not even getting the arrested part. I'm like, my mugshot is me dressed as the cowboy. Now, where central booking is in Baltimore City, when you walk outside, you're directly in this area called the Block. The Block is like take all of Aurora Avenue.
And every strip club in town and put it in one area.
Right, just a block and a half long. Yep. That's all it is. So there's a lot of prostitution, which I don't care. But when they let me out of jail, again, you don't see yourself. So when I step out of jail, I realize I am dressed like a male prostitute because that's basically the way they would dress down there after trying to pick you up.
Yeah.
So when I step outside,
there's all types of prostitutes.
There's a lot of gay prostitution there. But when I stepped outside, I'm outside for 15 seconds, and I remember this brother's like, hey. So I'm like, man, I am not in the mood for this. Like, okay. I didn't tell him, like, dude, I am dressed up.
Isn't there a police station down there, too?
Yeah, that's where they have
Isn't that ironic that, the
prostitutes are next to the cops?
They feel more safe in that area than anywhere else in the city.
And the cops don't bust them.
No, they don't care.
They know them by name. It is fine.
They work hand in hand.
They proposition me because I'm dressed like a gay cowboy. And, man, that guy was feeling it.
So our question today, what went down when someone was in costume? 206-803-ROCK.